Today, we're going to be exploring some of the craziest street food I've ever seen in my life here in the Philippines in Cebu City. After our delicious adventure in Manila, I knew I had to see and eat more of the Philippines, so we came down south to the island of Visayas to visit its capital, Cebu City. Cebu is known for its beautiful beaches, tall skyscrapers, timeless historical sites, but most importantly, it's home to incredible Filipino cuisine. There's a reason why, amongst Filipinos, Cebu is coined as the Queen City of the South because it boasts some of the wildest and most complex cuisines I've ever seen in my life. So join me as I visit the bustling street markets, attempt to conquer a Cebu Lechon, eat rare seafood, and find the famous Filipino beer, Red Horse. This is 72 hours of best Filipino street food here in Cebu City. Okay, we are in Taboan Market. This is the market to come for dried fish, but not only is there dried fish, you can find all sorts of produce, and this is a market that's incredibly local. You're not going to find any tourists because it's mostly a produce-driven market, and you can see like how Cebuans eat and live, ladies shopping for their families, and it's a really, really fun market to visit. There's even a chorizo stall inside, and you can see all the chorizos being made. And what's really great about this market is that around the perimeter, there are carinderias, meaning that there are places to eat with the fresh produce from the market. We're gonna look around and go find a good place to eat, just like the local. Let's go. So this section is more of the meat and dairy. You can find a lot of the duck eggs right here, and this is what they use to make balut. And then you can find some fresh fruit and chicharron. So these are puffed pork skin. And you can find all sorts of Filipino produce found right here. So string beans, that's commonly used in kare-kare, and sinigang are here. A lot of bitter gourd as well. Eggplant. So the thing with Filipino food is that it's a lot of fresh, crunchy veggies, which is what makes it so good. And obviously in the center we have okra. A lot of these vegetables are also similar to Spanish cooking because of the history that it has from colonization. What is this one?
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know? It's okay. There's a lot of things I don't know either. Seems we have some spectators as well. So in the center of the market, there's a chorizo making place, and they're just like filling up the sausages and hanging them, and it's beautiful. It almost looks like jewelry, and they're like glistening and red and shiny, just like me, because I'm very sunburned. I could really see myself coming here to the markets in the morning and just grabbing something fresh, and everything is made here and made now. I like it. I love visiting local markets whenever I travel. Oh! Banana, fried banana? Look at how powerful that gas is. Her technique is amazing. She slices the banana into almost like a fan-like shape and then opens it up and puts it into a wet batter. Very, very, very hot oil. And as soon as the banana touches the oil, almost like a tempura, it fluffs up. The batter just completely becomes crispy. And she's actually letting it go for quite some time. It's been almost 3-4 minutes. Yeah, and it's a very, very smart technique because by letting it be in the oil for long, these bananas, unlike the bananas that we get in the West, they're a bit more starchier. So it needs a little more time for it to cook and caramelize and for all that sweetness to really come out. Incredible technique, and it's less than $1 for a bag, and I cannot wait to try. It smells so fantastic. I knew that she was like a pro because she was sharpening her paring knife when we were getting here, and like each of the slices, it's beautiful. Look how she like fans it out, and that's not easy. This is pro mom level of knife work. We have a guest here who is an expert in this. Who's gonna come over? What's your name?
Nicole.
Nicole, this one's for you. So could you give a brief description of what this is?
It's like a fan. That's 5, this guy 5 cut.
I see. So okay, cheers.
It's good, it's really nice, yummy.
Just like what Nicole said, it's hot, it's yummy, and it's a little gooey inside too. And the sweet banana like really comes out, and it's like hot and almost like lava-ish. And I love that it gets really nice and caramelized. Outside is super crispy, and I love that the sugar is well coated. And because of that fan structure, it gets more surface area for more sugar and more crispiness. And that's why this is so amazing. It's so smart that you fan out the banana, because sometimes like for banana Q that I've had in Manila especially, it was also really good, but the inside is still a little bit starchy and it doesn't get that like really nice gooiness, because by the time that the banana cooks through completely, the outside would have burnt. So this is a very highly advanced technique, and something that I'm actually going to be utilizing for my tempura as well. Like you could do this for a zucchini or any starchy vegetable and fan it out, and look at this, it looks beautiful. What else is good in this market to eat?
Poto squatty.
Poto squatty, and
Like-
what is that?
Squatty it means
Tablet.
cacao.
Cacao, like champurado?
Oh yes.
Puto paya.
Poto squatty. Oh,
Puto squatty. Puto squatty, puto squatty, puto squatty. Okay. Okay, now we know what we're gonna eat next. We're gonna get some puto squatty. Okay, let's go in and try some puto squaya. Puto squatty, puto squatty, puto squatty. Okay. Oh, looks good. Just a puto squaya.
Poto squatty.
Puto squatty, puto squatty, puto squatty. Okay. As per recommendation, we got puto squaya. Puto squatty, puto squatty, puto squatty. Okay. Puto squatty. We have great tutors right next to us teaching us along the way. So this is sticky rice, and next to it is hot cocoa. And you can see that this hot cocoa, it's a little different from hot cocoa that you might get in the West, because there's a layer of oil that rises to the top. And I'm assuming this is butter or margarine?
It's made of pure cacao beans.
Pure cacao.
This one.
Wow.
This one. We roast it, then we peel it. After that, we grind it. And the result is this. Then we will cook it. The result is this. The
Wow.
process is very simple.
It doesn't sound simple.
If everything I dreamt of it was true, I'd take your blessings with your heartaches too. It's so easy, and so soft enough to see. From the highest mountain to the deepest well, I never thought I'd be the one to tell. It's so easy and so wonderful beneath your skin.
So behind me, you can hear the fresh cocoa being milled. What happens is you get the cacao bean, you roast it, and then you get the cacao nibs, grinding it, and then it becomes this thick paste that then becomes chocolate for the hot cocoa. So the way that I was instructed to eat it was sticky rice, a little bit of brown sugar on top, and you pour over the hot cocoa. Just like that. I'm gonna drink the hot cocoa just as is too. One of the best chocolates I've ever had. Also, I've never seen fresh chocolate before, and as a big chocolate lover, this feels like a huge privilege for me, and it's the freshest cocoa that I'll ever get. It made in Philippines, milled in the Philippines, and made right behind me as we're speaking, which hence the audio is kind of like this. You want to just kind of mix it with the sticky rice, and just like that. A little bit of sugar, a little bit of salt, and pure cocoa. And the fat that rises to the top is from the fat from the cacao beans itself. Cacao also has a high fat content, which is why it's very, very buttery and rich. And all that oil is rising to the top. Oh, just as I'm done talking. What I love about this dessert is that it's not just sweet, it's actually a little bit salty. It's salty, it's sweet, it's velvety, it's chocolatey. And this is a perfect dessert with a bit of that salt to really cut away that overly sweet notes. I love rice and I love chocolate, and it feels like such a huge privilege to be able to try this. And for a lot of Cebuanos, this may seem like a very simple dessert, but this is so good. Oh, I don't want to spill any. And there we go again. So good. How long have you been in business for?
40 years.
40 years.
I'm still here.
This is 25 pesos.
25 pesos.
25 pesos. That's 50 cents, and you get rich, freshly milled hot cocoa, organic cane sugar, sticky rice, all this. That's crazy to think about. So much love and care goes into this dish.
Yes.
Look at this factory of chorizo being made right now. So many people just working in unison making chorizo. I've actually never seen chorizo being made. Actually, that's not true. I've made chorizo before. B.
B. Ah, Doobydobap.
And apparently you can try the chorizo that's being made here right in front of the carinderia across from it. So that's exactly what we're gonna try because it's never enough food. So very similar to some of the places that we've been eating here in the Philippines. This is called carinderia, which is like a local deli stop, and you can kind of pick and choose what kind of rice and supplemental dishes that you can choose from. So they have the chorizo that's being made right in front, being cooked here. And they also have some pancit canton, which is some stir-fried noodles, some of the dried fish, some of the fish preserve. And this is the salted fish on the side, some squid adobo, and they have a bunch of different options available. But I'm gonna try the chorizo here since it's produced right across the hall. It's as fresh as it gets. Before, after. Behind me is the chorizo making factory, and I'm eating what's being made there right now. So this is the sweet and spicy chorizo, and you can see the glaze around the sausage, and it's dark, it's sticky, and it looks really, really good. Super delicious. Wow. I've never had a crowd that reacts to me eating. It's like having like your own audience because I have like a sound effects team right next to me. The inside is nothing like I've actually tried before. It almost is like a mix between Chinese lechon and chorizo together. It has the look of a chorizo, but inside is like sweet and spicy, similar to the Cantonese Chinese style of sausage. And you can also see it in the red color. This is because of the preservatives that's needed for chorizo. And it's not dense at all. It's like really light and fluffy, and the individual meat grain can be felt. And I love the fact that it's a little sweet. It's kind of like almost eating beef jerky. That's what it kind of tastes like. It's so, so good. Did you see how they were making the chorizo inside? So they get this casing. It's like opaque, almost look like contraceptive. Let's put it at that. And you almost like push it into this machine, and all this meat kind of like shoots out, like boom, 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 boom. And you get the meat that's inside the casing, and you squish it down in order to get an even layer. Because you don't want one sausage to be fat and one to be skimpy. You want it to be evenly plump. And then you get a piece of thin string, edible string, and then just ties it, moves on to the next one, and then ties it. And all the workers inside are just tying and then squeezing, tying and squeezing. And what's crazy is that none of them pop. Everything is super intact, and they're just like working in unison constantly. It's amazing how many sausages that they can make in this little area. So this is such a special experience, especially if you're a food lover. You have to come visit just to see, like, where else in the world can you see chorizo being made and eat right in front where it's the freshest. This is what I love so much about eating in the markets. You get these really special experiences, and so far Cebu has been so amazing, especially with the quality and the technique of all the foods that we've been trying. Phenomenal. And just because it's cheap doesn't mean that it's bad food. There's actually so much love and human touch that goes into making even just a regular sausage, or sticky rice with cocoa, or fried banana. All of this has technique and love, and this only comes from being proud of your local produce. And this is what Taboan Market shows. How fun is that? I feel like when you come to the local markets, you get a sense of what the locals really eat. Instead of going to the resorts, stop by Cebu City, the inner city, and see what the locals are buying and eating. And what's really good is gonna be in here, not at the hotel restaurants. And trust me, this is coming from a fellow Queen Doobie. Out for some dinner doobies. So the place that we're going to is called Pungko sa Fuente, and Pungko means this. It means squatting. You know those chairs that are low, so you almost have to squat? It's that kind of vibe, and it's gonna be piles and piles of fried food, because there's only one way to start a night here in the Philippines, and it's with a little bit of that grease. Just to, you know, lube up the pathways, as I like to call it. So the way it works, I kind of read about it before I came here, is that all the different tables, they're different vendors. Think of it almost as like a farmer's market, but of fried food. And you see that mound of like brown, fried, almost eczema-like skin. That is going to be chicharron la bulacake? Bulacak. Okay. Close enough. Chicharron bulacak, not bukake. And that means pork fat flours. Why? Because we have chicharron, which is fried pork fat that looks like it floured. Beautiful, right? Why buy flowers when you can have fried pork fat as decoration? Oh, okay, let's go. I don't want to hit more people. Can I do this one?
No, this.
Same one?
This one.
What is this for?
For hands.
For hands.
Yeah, like Manny Pacquiao.
I like Manny Pacquiao?
Yeah,
Nice.
like Manny Pacquiao.
So it's rice wrapped in banana leaves and then steamed. It's more dense than you would think, but it smells really fragrant. It smells like rice. This one is a fried vegetable tempura, you want to say?
It has like carrots, squash, all different types of vegetables. We have pork cutlet right here, almost like a tonkatsu, and it looks really juicy. And the fry on this looks really, really good. And we obviously have the chicharon bukake, chicharon bulaklak, which is going to be the fried pork fat. It's like ruffled fat, and it kind of really does look like a ballerina skirt before you fry it. It's funny though, right? Like all the vendors, this is like a shared space, and people all kind of like fight for customers. So you really want to go for the ones that look like they have like the crunchiest bulaklak. Bukake? I'm gonna go for the bulaklak first. It looks really good. It looks so crispy and very different from like chicharron from Mexico. Less air in it, and it's more flat. I'm gonna dip it in the vinegar sauce. I asked for 3 chilies. Has onions, calamansi, and some distilled vinegar. And we eat. Oh, spicy. Oh my god, spicy. We have this saying in Korean, it's the little chili that's spicy. And that's what my mom always says about my dad. Super crispy, but the inside is more chewy than you would think. It almost has like a nice sweet and sour nose to it. Like it tastes like sweet and sour pork. That's what it reminds me of. I want you to hear the crunch, not the screaming. It feels a little like cheating, just eating the fat and then frying it. It's super indulgent, and the vinegar is really nice, and the chilies actually quite spicy, so it cuts away some of that like greasiness. I'm actually gonna have the pork chop with the white onions on top. Let's eat. It's good. I'm gonna have it with some puso, which is the rice right here. You know, I'm surprised that they don't sell beer here, because to me this tastes like one-to-one, like the perfect beer snack. It's salty, it's indulgent, it's fatty, it's crispy, there's a little bit of acid. It's like intense flavors. So I'm like really craving a Red Horse, but apparently the only thing that they sell as bevy is Mountain Dew, which I don't like. But the pork chop, it's not really crispy like tonkatsu, because there's no like panko breading that gets crispy. It's a little more chewy, it's not as crispy, but it has a more interesting chew to it. And it's actually quite nice. And with the onions, very, very good with rice. I love the Filipino way of eating with your hands. And what I noticed when I was walking along the market today was that nobody uses like utensils like plastic forks or knives or chopsticks. Everyone just uses like a plastic bag like this and then just uses their hands. If you think about it, it's so effective, and it's actually less waste that's put in. And eating it with your hands is always fun, but using a thin plastic bag like this also protects, you know, your hands from not smelling like the food that you ate the night before. So I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Okay, I'm gonna try one of the vegetables ones here. It looks like there's like a tofu skin roll. It's good, but I can't really ID what's in it. It almost tastes meaty though. It tastes like the inside of a lumpia, actually, just the filling. Across from me, from the counter, there's a lady who is picking out pieces that she wants. You have these like tongs on the side, so you can really like go for the ones that look the crispiest. And the only way to find out which one is crispy and which one is not is really your intuition. Okay, the crab one looks insane, and I don't even know how to dig into this one. Okay, so this is the crab one. This is what it looks like. And look at the other side. It's like a painting. It's so beautiful. It looks like tomato bisque with creme fraiche on top. This is beautiful. So what I'm assuming is they put the crab meat along with other fillings and then stuff it in and then deep fry it, and you eat the inside. You don't eat the outside. This is like catcalling on another level. Everyone's waving. Everyone's waving. Every man should experience this once to feel like what it's like to be a woman on the internet. Oh, look at this inside. Actually, it's rice inside. It's crab meat, egg, and rice inside. Oh, that's gonna be good. It's basically like a crab fried rice, but whole inside the shell. That's so cool. I've never seen that before. It almost reminds me of sticky rice stuffed wings, like Thai style, but inside a crab. Okay, I'm gonna dip it in the sauce. Not my favorite. My favorite has to be, I like the pork chops and the chicharron bulaklak. It's nothing like I've ever tried before, and its crispiness on another dimension. Bulaklak is the best one. Half of this is for the experience. Like when you walk in, all the vendors like yelling at you, trying to get them to your table, and then sifting through this like Mount Everest of fried food, picking out what you want to eat, eating with your hands, with your friends. That's like part of the experience. I could totally see myself doing this with friends if I had some in the Philippines, I mean. Dude, that was fun. Honestly, so fun. I still don't know why the only beverage that they sell is Mountain Dew. Is it sponsored? We'll never know. But if you're a local and you know the answers, drop it. Spill the beans. Ugh, that was not smooth. So the next place that we're gonna head on over to is Carbon Night Market. This is a night market that just got newly renovated. It used to be like the wet markets, and the wet markets still function, but there's a new like food hall, and it looks really interesting with lots of delicious food. So the food that we need to try while we're in Cebu is tuslo bua, and it's made with something that you can never even imagine. It's gonna blow your brains out. So fun! So many like neon bright lights, and Cebu, I would say, is pretty well lit, more lit like than a lot of places in Manila, and it kind of feels like almost like a amusement park or like a little carnival actually. You see like all these adolescent teens in love, cuddling each other, and then one dude in the orange Harley just being forever alone. Shall we go inside? It looks fun. I'm actually so excited. So many people. Also, another thing to note about Carbon Market is that it's only open on Fridays, Saturdays. So it's when there is a lot of people, and so many people are eating inside, and so many street vendors are out, and it's bright inside. Looks fun. Oh, live music. I don't know why. Like the setting kind of reminds me of, you know that place in Texas? Lone Star. There's something very country about this, and I can't pinpoint why. Also pretty funny that there's like this front barricade of Carbon Market all selling the same thing of phone cases. It's all cell phone shops just completely barricading the front entrance of Carbon Market. The selection is all the same too. If you see like a hand just carrying something up in the crowd, other than a chair, it's tuslo bua.
I got it like that. Yeah, I got it like that. I got it like that. Baby, I'm a big deal, I got it like that. I did it again, who told you that I was finished? Fresh off the plane with a new mani-pedi. My hair stay laid and you know I get paid. $100 bills, I got racks on the way. I'm making them big moves, I won't stay quiet. 5'6", but I feel like a giant.
By the way, do you know how to eat this one? We need to a demonstration. My name is RJ. Just open the rice. Yeah, for sure. This is unlimited pig brain.
Unlimited pig brain. Only rice, only pig brain. Yeah, you heard him. We are eating pig brain. I know it sounds really wild to a lot of people. It even sounds very wild to me, a Korean who was born in the wild out of my mother's womb. But we're gonna try it because my whole ethos is don't yuck my yum. So I'm gonna try your yum, Cebu, okay? So the usual drill, as RJ told us, everything goes with rice in the Philippines. We have the banana leaf that we saw earlier today, and we're gonna use our hands covered by a little plastic bag and then dip it in this sauce. Honestly, this sauce smells like gravy. It smells like really rich gravy with a little bit of garlic and chili. It smells really good. To be honest, I'm quite excited for this. I like anything dipped, and as a fan of pate, I'm assuming that's kind of what it's gonna taste like. Okay, let's glove up. I have this illness where whenever I put any type of glove, I say, does the glove fit? OJ? Just like what my sensei RJ taught me, a little bit of the rice steamed in bamboo leaves, dipped in this pig gravy, pig brain gravy. Whoa! I swear, if you put this on top of a cracker, next to some cheese, on some charcuterie, rich people would eat this shit up. This tastes phenomenal. This tastes like really, really good pate. There's a bit of spice, that creaminess, and just unctuousness. It's super garlicky, it's salty, it's creamy, big brain energy. This is so good. It's so good. And the fact that it's unlimited makes me even happier. As an Asian, anything that's a great deal tastes at least 50% better. Mark my words. It's science. Trust me, I studied food science. This shit's bomb. It's like a super meaty fried rice flavor. It's like a meaty fondue, but with rice. Okay, I sounded extra Asian there. Holy smokes, this is so good. So good. I told you it'll blow your brains out. Remember earlier? But yeah, it's such a fun vibe. I'm a little, away from the crowd center just because of the audio and I want to talk to you guys. But over there, there's like a cover band just singing all the greatest pops of early 2000s. It's a vibe. Everyone's just like jamming to the music, eating some pig's brain, sharing it with their friends, and it's really fun. Another thing that I've noticed here, different from Singapore and also Korea and Japan, is that everything is communal. Like eating is a very communal experience here in the Philippines. Food is not about just nourishment, it's about eating together, eating and laughing and sharing. And yeah, food is important, but it's who you eat it with that feels more important here in the Philippines. And it's very cute. But I feel like that's something we kind of lost in East Asia. We're very like secular people. We're a little like shy and introverted. But here in the Philippines, they know how to have fun and party. What am I saying? Let's eat some pig's brain. Don't yuck my yum. Psych. I was gonna flip it over and be like Clean Bowl Club, but it's a bit hot. Clean Bowl Club. I'm on a search for some bevy, and there's nothing as hydrating as buko juice, which is coconut. Back with my bevy. There's nothing as refreshing as coconut juice in the world. It's even more hydrating than water. Dude, that was delicious. And who would have thunk that pig's brain would be delicious like this? Creamy, salty, savory, meaty, oily, dipped in a little bit of rice. Wow, one of the best bites that you'll ever have. And trust me, if you're a certified meat lover, you gotta eat all parts of the brain because a pig's body is a temple and you gotta worship all of it. because it's 10 p.m. and tomorrow we gotta wake up early at the break of dawn. We gotta wake up at 4 a.m. I've never waken up at 4 a.m. I've slept at 4 a.m. but never waken up. So that is going to be an experience of its own, and we're gonna have something golden, roasted, and beautiful, just like your mama. Good morning. It is currently 5 a.m. and we are in Talisay, which is around 30 minutes drive from Cebu, located in the southwest. And this is the birthplace of Lechon. And we are going to go to Leslie's Lechon to see the process of how everything is made, the whole barbecue, the whole setup, which is why I'm up early, all for you guys. And I'm dying. Let's go. Well, I'm really excited to see.
You finished slaughtering the pig.
Ah, yeah?
At
It's okay.
6:30, we're going to roast it.
Ah, yeah.
Good morning.
What's really special about Leslie's Lechon is that it's inside like the back of her house. There's a huge fire pit and all the lechoneros are getting ready. We just watched the pigs get slaughtered. It's a part of eating. If you eat meat, you need to come to the terms with that, yes, a living being dies in order for you to be full. And that's a part of life. And if you can't stomach it, you shouldn't eat meat. Definitely the first time I've seen a pig get slaughtered. I've eaten pig for 26 years of my life. Definitely a little brutal, but it was important to see. They slaughter the pig, gut it out, let the blood run out. They torch the hair in order to get rid of some of the excess hair, because if you don't do that, it's gonna burn. And they stuff it with salt and a bunch of aromatics like green onions and garlic and a special sauce that they have. And then they sew the suckling pig like they are a surgeon. They have this big string with a big needle, and then they tie it all together, making sure that the filling is intact. It's really like stuffing a turkey for Thanksgiving. But they've been just going at it from 4 a.m. and it starts early. You need to reserve in advance before you come, usually a day or two, to make sure that your lechon is ready, because it's a labor of love and it takes at least 5-6 hours for your lechon to be ready, which is why we came so bright and early in the morning. So behind me, the lechonero is tending the fire and putting on the hogs, and the hogs are lying on this kind of like a conveyor belt system where it rotates automatically, but all the fire managing has to be done by hand. It needs human touch. There's kind of different levels to the fire as well. It starts off a little strong to burn off some of the excess hair and to make the outside layer really crispy. And he pours water over the fire to make sure that the fire isn't too strong and that it's a nice gradual burn so that it doesn't burn and the lechon gets a nice even caramelization as it roasts. But it is like 100 degrees in here and it is beautiful. Looking at all the hogs just rotating on the steel pipes. I feel very, very lucky to be here to be able to watch this. And just to give a little context as to what lechon means for Filipinos, this is a dish that's shared by a bunch of people. So one hog is 8,000 pesos, which is around 150 USD. And it's enough to feed at least 6 to 10 people. And since today is the weekend, a lot of people are making orders so that they can share with their families and have enough for everyone and their community. It's really a special day kind of thing. Lechon is really the crown jewel of Filipino cuisine of special occasions. You need to have lechon for gatherings, to eat meat and break bread, because that's what Filipino eating culture is about. It's about sharing food. 34 years you've been making lechon?
Yeah.
And who is this recipe from?
The mother of lechon industry in Talisay is the grandmother of my husband.
So what time do you usually prepare everything in the morning?
It depends. If the order is for lunchtime, we should prepare it at 5 o'clock in the morning. If it's 6 o'clock in the morning, we should wake up at 1 in the morning.
So it's 5 hours before.
Yes, 5 hours setback.
And what does lechon mean to a lot of Filipino people?
Cebu is famous for lechon. So have encountered plenty of tourists. All nationalities have encountered due to lechon.
It's the most famous pig on
Yes,
earth.
the famous pig. On
Yeah, and I've never seen anything like it where it's getting churned and it's very different from American style of barbecue.
It's over.
But this one there's nothing like it. What's your favorite part of lechon? Like, what's your favorite piece?
Skin.
Is it common for women to own lechon areas?
I think 80% of the lechoneros here are women.
Oh yeah.
Because you have to be diligent, you have to be industrious, you have to be alert with this kind of. You have to bring always your cell phone.
Yeah.
Because if the phone rings, you have to get the order. Men are not like that.
Yeah, that's true. We know. So why should people come visit Cebu to eat lechon?
It's very delicious.
Very easy, very easy. Yeah, and it's something that's very special only here in Cebu because it's the birthplace of lechon, and it's gonna be the freshest. It's gonna be the best, and it's also a beautiful sight to watch the whole process of lechon being made. I can't wait to eat. You need to listen to this. It's like 7:30 in the morning and we are starting off the day with some lechon, a whole roasted suckling pig. Okay, I don't even know how to attack this right now, but I'm just gonna cut through the center and try the creme de la creme first, which is going to be the skin.
Hi.
It's like glass. Look at that. This is like the color of sorority girls in tanning beds. Shall we? Are we ready for this? I think that's one of the best bites I've ever had in my life. The skin, man. It's thin, it's crunchy, it's juicy, and it's almost like a creme brulee. It just shatters in your mouth when you bite into it, and this juice from underneath, like that fat, just explodes in your mouth. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. I'm gonna give my cameraman a little bite because he's drooling on the side. Good work today. Now I'm gonna bite into the meat. And look at how juicy and tender this meat is. Literally melts in your mouth. Just explodes in your mouth. I don't think I've ever had pig this tender. It's just the amount of juiciness that you get from slow roasting a pork and constantly churning and churning and churning. All that moisture is kept inside. It's sweet. It has this like sweetness to it. And it's probably because the pig is so young that it hasn't had the time to grow muscle and develop more tougher meat. It is brutal. It is a brutal piece of fact, but eating suckling pig also comes from a historical standpoint of when food wasn't mass produced and pigs were grown at home. Pigs would give birth to a lot of baby pigs. And there wouldn't be enough room to store all of them, so butchering suckling pig is a common part of every culture that raises pigs. So I think it's time for us to just cut to the chase and slice in the middle. Let's do a little cross-section moment now. Wow, look at that. All the scallions and garlic and star anise. I didn't know people ate the stuffing, but apparently this is the best part, along with some of the lechon because all the veggies are going to absorb all the juices and the lard. And the secret ingredient that Leslie uses for her lechon is star anise, and it's so fragrant, and also a little bit of Sprite. That's her secret sauce. The food in Cebu so far has been so different also from Manila, even though it's in the same Philippines, because it's such a big population, also with so many different ethnicities within the archipelago, like all the different islands. You get so many different cuisines and techniques and type of food. A little bit of pusot. I'm going to wrap it in some scallion with a little bit of lechon on top, and crowned with a pork crackling. The perfect bite. The aroma is just completely aggrandized. Garlic, juicy, star anise. This is just incredibly delicious. Honestly, I'm at a loss for words. I do think that this is the best pig I've ever eaten in my life. Easily. What a special experience to be able to have my first lechon in the birthplace of lechon with the freshest, best ingredients possible, right in the spot behind Leslie's about to go to church. I'm getting the real, true Filipino experience. Very, very well worth waking up at 4 a.m. No regrets at all. Wow. What a special place. Lechon, glassy, crispy, golden brown skin, beautiful tender pork inside. Oh, and it just melted like butter. I'm gonna remember this for a very, very long time. And if you're ever in Philippines, you need to come check out Talisay to get the real lechon experience in the Philippines. Okay, I'm gonna try and get a taxi with this. Wish me luck. Okay, I told you that we were going to come to another market, and here we are at Colon Night Market, and this is a market that stretches all along a road, and then inside here is the food market. Along this road is just like vendors of like different shoes, accessories, and I think a bunch of knockoffs as well. I mean, we have it in Korea. It exists everywhere in Asia. You gotta make your money somehow. But yeah, inside is a night food market, and this is open from 6 p.m. all the way to around 2 a.m. Depending on the vendor, but it looks really, really fun. Let's just go and get some snacks, I guess. But I'm surprised. I was actually worried that this night market was gonna be like a very touristed day, but it's all locals. You can't find a single tourist here. So let's see what kind of food they have. Thank you so much.
International. Newscaster.
This conch, some seashells of some sort. Dip it in the vinegar mix, and let's try. It's good. It's like really nice texturally. It's not seafoody at all. It's fun that like in Cebu, because we're so close to the ocean, we start seeing like seafood on a stick. It's a spicy onion vinegar mix that we've been seeing all throughout Philippines. So it's like a very common dipping sauce that they also use for kway curry, but every stall has a little different twist in their own dipping mix. Yeah.
Sir, sticker rice, sir.
Ooh, it looks good. Wow, a lot of shakes. Also, it's a little wet today because it rained. And I feel like these night markets are so popular around Cebu because it gets so hot during the day. It goes to around like 35 degrees Celsius, which in Fahrenheit, I don't know because I'm Korean and I'm not stupid. So on the side over there, you can see a lot of people enjoying the pig brain with the rice that we got yesterday. Let's see what's good. Maybe some of the grilled items over there. And what's also very interesting is that they do grilled seafood here in Cebu, different from Manila. It was mostly like chicken innards, but here it specializes really in seafood. And definitely gonna get the steamed rice cakes that's covered in coconut meat as well. I think we're looking pretty good. I wonder where this sound is coming from also, but it's very festive. I'm down to start with something sweet. You know that about me. It's because I'm sweet. Butter bongbong. Butter bongbong? Butter bongbong. Butter bongbong. So the way that puto bumbong is made is actually fascinating. You have the rice flour and it's purple because of the ube coloring. And you almost stuff it into these like wooden cylinders and they have a little like a handkerchief along the side so that it's easier to, you don't burn yourself while you put them in and put them out because it's steam underneath that's really cooking it and hence making it that sticky rice texture. And then he like plops it out using like a wooden chopstick and dusts it in the coconut flour. You grate big time cheese. I love the name, honestly, and the packaging is just fantastic. And then drizzle over condensed milk, so you get that like really nice salty, cheesy, as well as that sticky, sweet flavor. And because of the ube, you get this like violet color. Wow, I said violet really violently. Okay, let's try. I think this is the first time that I've tried cheese and condensed milk together in a dessert, but in a weird constellation, it works really well. I mean, if you think about it, that's basically what a cheesecake is, right? And the cheese kind of adds like that salty, savory notes as well as the condensed milk. It is dairy at the end of the day, and the combination of the two with the sticky rice is really good to like absorb everything all together. Nice. Oh, it's so good. Also, a good indicator of good puto bumbong is when they're making it fresh. Like if it's already pre-steamed, it's not gonna be as chewy and sticky. So you really wanna look for the ones with all the steamer baskets with kind of like horns, so you know that it's made fresh. I think it's time for us to get a little drink. Hello, what is this one? Fruit mix. Fruit mix? Thank you, Paul. Okay, so I got the fruit mix and this was 30 pesos. And like any other good dessert here in the Philippines, it's topped off with a little bit of condensed milk. And this looks incredible. We have something very similar to this in Korea and we call it hwachae. And we also put, instead of condensed milk, we put in cream soda. So it's watermelon and that like kind of more creamy like dairy to really like bind everything together. So inside is bananas, some fruit jello, watermelon, canned peaches, and a little bit of jellied coconut, and obviously topped off with condensed milk. I'm gonna take a bite. Oh, this watermelon looks so refreshing. It's sweet and fruity, just like your little ass. I gotta stop making jokes like that. Come on, I'm a struggling millennial. I love like watermelon-based desserts, so this is really, really right up my alley. Ah, hello. Mixed seafood. Okay. Okay, I think we're gonna get some one mixed seafood, and then we'll do a plate of the scallops.
This one?
Yeah, and this is cheese on top.
Yeah, cheese.
Okay, that sounds good. Small chorizo, and what's this one?
Chicken skin.
Chicken skin. Okay, let's try a chicken skin. Thank you so much. So we got some grilled scallops with cheese on top. Cheese is just very popular in the Philippines. Also historically with the US intervention and also with Spanish colonization, cheese is a very big part of Filipino cuisine. More of like a young cheese, a little similar to queso and cheddar kind of mixed together. Yeah, it looks good. It's like super smoky, and the cheese was just like, the cheese and the scallop was just like bubbling in its own fat with like some of the butter and the charcoal and the grill master like fanning the coals so that the fire was alive. It was really, really fun. It's actually like a lot of the reasons why you would come to these night markets is also to, eat with your eyes. And part of the reason why I love Filipino barbecue so much is that it's not just meat, it can be really anything. You can do seafood, you can do scallops. There's so many different varieties. It's really fun to be able to pick and choose small amounts so you can try a bunch of different options. Okay, let me try. Wow, that's very salty, but also very buttery and very cheesy. You know, because the flames were so strong, I was expecting the scallop to be overcooked, but it's actually perfectly cooked. You could almost like confit it. It's like buttery and soft and juicy. And I like that it's like a little on the salty side because to me, this feels like the perfect bar snack. But do they even sell beer around here? I don't think I've seen any alcohol. It's really actually difficult to find places with alcohol here in the Philippines. Another dish that I got is mixed seafood. And it is just as what it sounds like. It's mixed seafood. So there is shrimp, there's clams, there's mussels. Thank you so much. Oh, I also ordered chorizo because the chorizo that I had at the market a couple days ago was so good that I just needed to try it again. But yeah, back to the mixed seafood. It's almost like a shrimp boil in a sense. It's utilizing all the fresh seafood that Cebu has and just cooking it up in one big pot, almost like a jumbo, and sweat it down with garlic, onions, and leeks, and just to give that extra aroma to the seafood dish. But this looks phenomenal. I don't even know where to begin. I don't know how to attack it. Wow. And look how big these mussels are. Nice and meaty too inside. Oh, that's really nice. There's a little bit of spice coming through as well. Star anise? I don't know, there's a spice to it. It's actually incredibly seasoned and flavorful. They actually put in lemongrass, so it has a nice perfumed taste. It's a little salty, it's a little briny, but that lemongrass contrasted with the seafood flavor really balances it out and it has this like incredible like mild aroma. And there's also even like a little crab right here. It's really all the freshest produce that you get from the sea with minimal spices and ingredients that makes a dish that's so perfectly nuanced. And look at this shrimp also. I'm really not good at peeling shrimp. I've always had people that peeled shrimp for me, aka my mom or Kevin. Yeah, I'm so bad at peeling shrimp actually. I'm actually just dissecting it at this point. Okay, I'm gonna try a smaller piece then. So buttery. Well, I've never had lemongrass with seafood before, but it makes perfect sense. It almost has like a citrusy, nice like herby note, and so good with like the mild flavors of seafood. This is incredible. Chorizo time. What I really love about how Filipinos cook chorizo is that they always put some sort of like sweet glaze on it, and it's usually like a sticky soy glaze, kind of like teriyaki sauce. So you get this like really, really nice char on the outside, and the inside of the chorizo is gonna be nice and meaty and a little sweet. It's sweet, it's sticky, it's super smoky from all that char, and the chorizo just looks perfect. Look how juicy that is. That is just so, so good, and such a well cook on it too. I think it's even more tastier because we've been able to see the process of how it got made, even better than last time. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna try the chicken skin. Chicken skin is one of my favorite yakitori pieces because it's so like unctuous. I'm really craving beer, but they don't sell beer around these markets. It's probably for the best actually. It's probably for the best of me. I'm definitely a little bit on the darker side than what I would usually eat, but hey, smells good though at least. When I put it in my mouth, all that like chicken fat just exploded, and it's like hot, it's juicy, and I love the glaze that they use here. There's a slight bit of acidity at the end, but it really works well to kind of like balance out the sweetness of the glaze. I love chicken skin. It really feels like cheating just to eat the skin because skin is the best part, and this is a skewer of just my favorite part of the chicken. And probably with the highest calories too, but let's not talk about that. There's a Korean saying, if you enjoy it while you eat it, it's 0 calories. Is there science behind it? Probably not. And now this one is the small chorizo balls. I didn't get the smaller ones last time, but I prefer the smaller ones over the big ones because it's more fun to eat and it's easier to eat as well. I like that it's like more bite-sized and these like little morsels kind of just explode in your mouth. I feel like I'm eating little eyeballs. Because I had lemongrass, I'm gonna get some lemonade. Hello! Can we get a medium lemonade with mango, please? Thank you so much. Okay, we're ending off the night with a sweet lemonade, and I'm gonna go early to bed because I am feeling old now. I love this mango lemonade. So sweet, so sour. Perfect way to end the night. at Entoy's Bakasihan, and Bakasihan means eel soup, and we're gonna try exactly that and some of the best seafood offered here at Cebu. Let's go in and order. So this is a caranderia that really specializes in fresh seafood. And when in Cebu, because we're so close to the ocean, you need to try some of Philippines' best seafood here. And it's right by the ocean, it's super airy, it's like an open air restaurant, and the food smells amazing. And shall we? Let's go. So it's our first time here. What would you recommend is good here? Eel soup. Okay, we'll definitely get the eel. And is this pusit adobo? Okay, we'll get pusit adobo. Can we get, is this milkfish? Paro fish. Can we get one grilled pork?
Yes.
One kinilaw? What a feast, huh? Wow. Finally getting some real seafood here in Cebu, and I cannot wait to dig in. Something that's actually super interesting about table service in the Philippines is that all the cutlery comes in like boiling hot water, kind of similar to how dim sum places are in Hong Kong. It's, I guess, to really say that like, oh, it's very clean and sanitary, and it also keeps the cutlery really warm, so it's an added plus. I don't even know where to begin, but let's go over everything that we ordered first. So we have the eel soup, which is their specialty here at the restaurant, the punsit adobo, which is squid adobo, and there's soy sauce, and it's really, really dark because of the ink from the squid itself. We also got some barbecued pork, and it's going to be really, really good to pair some of that fish and pork so that we get the best of both worlds, both land and sea. And this, I am so sorry for all the trypophobia people. I'm not even like trypophobic, but this is kind of giving me heebie-jeebies. But this is sea grapes. It looks wild. It really does look like mini grapes from the sea. But I've never tried these before, and I am super excited to see what these taste like. Honestly, this looks like there's gonna be a party in my mouth. And we have some fish on the side, lightly grilled, and there's some salt, and you can see the really nice caramelization, and I just know that the skin is going to be really crispy. Obviously, there's a little bit of flies because it's right by the ocean, and we have a bunch of delicious food, but it's a part of eating experience, you know? You gotta earn your keep. And we have some kinilaw. So kinilaw is the Filipino ceviche. It's a way of preserving fresh fish with vinegar and kind of essentially cooking it so that it lasts longer. We also have some tomatoes and red onions, and the fish, because of the acid, turns opaque instead of, translucent when it's raw. It's a very Cebuan thing to eat, especially during the hot days. And here we have our little Lord of the Flies moment. If you're cultured, you would understand this reference, but not to shame you if you've never read old, literature written by old white dudes in the 20th century. But this is a spider conch. It really looks like something that I have that we're not going to talk about. But this looks super interesting. It's actually one of the things that we ate at the market yesterday on a skewer, but this is its whole form. Looks wild. I can't wait to dig in. And obviously we have some calamansi and bird's eye pepper on the side because we're in the Philippines and we like everything a little acidic and a little spicy. I think I'm gonna start from fresh to a bit more flavor. So let's start with the kinilaw. I like starting with something that's acidic and fresh because you always want to eat from the order of like acidic to more savory so that acid really kind of gets your appetite going. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Let's try. Oh my gosh, this is so good. It's acidic, it's fresh, and because the fish has been sitting in the vinegar marinating, the flesh is really tangy. It's almost like a gummy-like texture. It kind of fights you back, and it's very bouncy when you chew on it. And along with the crunchy red onion and the tomatoes, and I think the vinegar that they use is coconut vinegar, and there's a little bit of sweetness at the end that really ties the dish all together incredibly well. This is like the dish that I would want to eat, especially with such a beautiful background in the back, which you can't see because it's overexposed. Sorry. I'm gonna dig into the fish. Filipino food, sauce is a very big component, and it makes sense because with this kind of heat and weather, it's easy for a lot of food to spoil. So naturally, it's gonna have more salt, more sugar, more oil, and more vinegar. But this is just simple. It's something that's ubiquitous around the world. grilled fish, you know how it's gonna taste, and I just know from the way that the bones are falling off the fish, it's gonna be real nice. Obviously, with a little bit of rice and a hint of calamansi to combat some of that fishiness. It is so delicate and soft, and it's quite a fatty fish actually. But along with the rice, with a little bit of that flaky salt on top and the char on the top, it's a dish that I could eat every day and never get tired of. And now it is time to try the sea grapes. Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. I don't know why, it reminds me of like Jingle Bells. I don't even know where to begin with this. Do I just put all these balls in my mouth? I need to outgrow this. My humor is still that of a 7-year-old boy, and I'm 26. That was a lot of sea grape, so I'm gonna have it with some grilled pork. And a little bit of rice too. This is the caviar of the sea. It's like little briny balls of ocean water that just explodes in your mouth when you put it in. I honestly thought that this is what it's like to go to a chiropractor because there were so many things bursting and cracking in my mouth. It feels like a chiropractor went to town in my mouth. It was just like all these balls like bursting and just cracking like an AK-47 in my mouth. That was wild. This is so good. And especially with the grilled pork that's, you know, more meaty and the taste of land, you might say. With the sea grapes that are more briny and ocean flavored, it makes a perfect combination. I shouldn't have eaten the amount that I did. That was a little excessive because these are quite salty and you really don't need anything other than the sea grapes to be like a salting agent of its own. It's almost like fish sauce minus the fishiness, but aggrandized brininess. This is amazing. Amazing. This is actually mind-blowing. This is like molecular gastronomy in one bite, but from nature. Okay, now I'm gonna move on to the squid adobo. Looks wild. It's just squid that's been marinated and stewed in soy sauce and its own ink, which gets that really dark, emo-like color. You know, in middle school, I definitely had a phase where I only wore black. Middle school Tina would love the color of adobo punsit. Is this even a food show or is this just like a trip back memory lane? I'm not sure. But let's just eat so that I stop talking. The difference between how Filipinos eat and how Koreans eat is that Filipinos bring the, you know, side dishes to the rice and then eat the rice, whereas Koreans, we bring the rice and put the side dishes on top of the rice, scooping it up and getting all that squid ink and soy sauce. Let's do a little calamansi. Wow. This is the reason why you gotta be close to the source. Fresh, it's soft, it's cozy, it's buttery, like a woman's touch. So well cooked, it's not rubbery at all. It's unlike any squid I've had. And because adobo is the method of cooking with soy sauce and vinegar, that vinegar further breaks down the muscle fibers of the squid that could be rubbery and even tenderizes it further. It literally, you don't even have to bite. This can be like old people food, and usually like squid is a health hazard for old people because people choke on it and die every year. But this, it's soft. You don't even need teeth to eat this. Holy smokes. And the sauce is like so good, and sorry, I had a moment. I like that the rice is a little on the drier side compared to East Asian rice, and that's because of how Filipinos eat, I realized. It's because the sauce is poured on top and the rice should be a little dry so that it sucks up all those juices and sauces. Wow. I'm not even exaggerating. This is the best food we've had in Cebu by miles. And I think this is actually one of the best meals we've had so far here in the Philippines. This is phenomenal. It's actually crazy the amount of technique and the differences. And this is just a regular carinderia, like somewhere that people come for a quick meal. It's almost like all next to the ocean. That's their, you know, grocery store basically. Fresh catch of the sea, and you can see all the fishing boats out in the ocean, and that is the source that's eaten right here. It's really sea to table movement. Now, moving on to the more freakier side of things, we have eel soup. So this is an eel soup that is very popular in Cebu, and it's something that you can only find here. And oh no, I found the head. This looks like the first Harry Potter movie. No, the turban dude, the bald dude. Kevin and I live in different centuries. This is what happens when you date an old man. I don't think I've ever had eel before, like completely intact. I wonder if you can eat the bones and everything. Can you eat the bones and everything?
Only meat. Only the
No,
meat.
only meat. Okay. Oh, I was just about to just eat it like spaghetti. Okay, so no bones. Another day surviving as a food content creator. It's a dangerous job. You wouldn't get it. But the soup looks really good. It looks like a thick chicken soup almost. It's yellow, it's greasy, assuming from the eel, because eel is a seafood with high fat content. Looks like something that would be an aphrodisiac for sure. Actually, in Korea, we eat eel for men who have erectile dysfunction. Okay, I'm gonna try the soup first. Delicious. It's like, it has the same base as sinigang. It's a little acidic. There is peppers, tomatoes, spring onions. Very simple, but very, very flavorful. Wow, soup is actually so good. In Korea, if your pee-pee look like this, that's when we eat eel. I don't even know how to get all the bones out because it's so small. I'm unsure if this is the right move, but I'm gonna risk it. Something like this. Let's give it a try. Wow, someone's really going ham with the karaoke. Honestly, I love how unabashed Filipino people are with their singing skills. Like, it doesn't matter if you're good or bad, it's all about the confidence that pulls you through. Like in Korea, we're too shy to do that. Only the best singers, they're the ones that sing. Unless we get a buttload of alcohol. Okay, here we go. Here goes nothing. Cheers. It was nice knowing you, Doobies. Surprisingly enough, I did not get any bones. It's super buttery. It really just like completely disintegrates in your mouth. It's almost like jello. It kind of reminds me of jellied eel from London back when I was living there. It's really soft and it's not fishy at all. It's almost like eating jello plus clouds, but that's buttery. It's really, really buttery from that high fat content, and along with the soup and with the aromatics, it's really, really good. It almost feels medicinal in a sense. I like the eel, but I think it takes a little getting used to. Okay, let's move on to the conch. I'm just gonna stab it and then just twist it. This is like trying to get me up in the morning. This is what it looks like. I feel like a makeup influencer, but with conch. I'm actually gonna do something creative and dip this into the adobo pancit sauce so that it's dark, like my soul. Again, pulling it over to a little bit of rice and a bit of calamansi. It's definitely like a texture thing. It's like rubbery, a little briny, but actually sweet. And I didn't expect it to be sweet. And a little sandy, but I think it's part of the experience. A little bit of sand. Not my favorite, but we have all these other foods that we're gonna feast on. If I had to choose my favorite here, definitely adobo pancit, the sea grapes, and the soup of the eel soup, phenomenal. Kinilaw, and the fish. So I guess almost everything except for the pork and the conch. I love food. I love eating. Entoy's Bakasihan, delicious food, incredible service, amazing view, karaoke in the air, sun is shining bright, and we're gonna go chase down an ice cream truck actually. So that away we go. Okay, so right across the basketball court, there's a little deli shop, like a little convenience store here, and they have some of Philippines' favorite snacks. And we were gonna get the ice cream, but the ice cream man went home unfortunately, and we couldn't track him down. So let's grab a couple snacks and some cold drinks. Hello! Can we actually try the Cali one? Got a Cali, and it's a sparkling apple soft drink. I'm unsure if this is from the Philippines, but we'll fact check. Favorite snack? Which one? This one? Ah, okay. Let's try this one. Ah, and we're gonna get 1 peanuts. Got a little snacky situation going and a crowd. Thank you. Bye bye. Sparkling apple cider. Let's go. I do love how all these small towns kind of outside of central Cebu have these like little shops, and it seems a lot more residential, and it's so fun to people watch. Ah, this is the banana fan that we had a couple days ago. Yeah, life moves slower around here, and it's really, really cute. So many people, you know, enjoying the weather outside, and it's a Sunday, so people are playing basketball, doing karaoke. And I like how in the Philippines, like nobody really stays inside their home. Everyone's like hanging out on the streets because it's like a social gathering. Everyone just all hangs out together, sharing snacks and grubs around the city. So it's a Sunday here in Cebu, and right across from me is one of the biggest cathedrals in the city, and Mass is just about to begin, and the sheer amount of people that are going to church right now, I literally thought this was a concert for somebody. The priest here is almost like the Taylor Swift of Philippines, of Cebu. Like, look how many people there are, and it's not just like young people, old people, middle-aged people, like everyone is here. And when there is a crowd, there's always going to be stalls that are gonna sell some nice grubs because, you know, we all gotta eat, even though there's God. We gotta eat, that's just the fact. So on the street across from church, you'll find a lot of flower shops, you know, people selling beverages, and also a confectionery store that's selling one of the iconic desserts and snacks of Cebu. So let's go get some. This is the confectionery store, and they sell some of, oh, is this a line or, no, not a line, let's go. Hello, can I get one masarel?
Masarial.
Masarel? And one otap? This one, Dundee's. Which one's your favorite? Shamrock?
Shamrock.
And what is this made of?
Peanut.
Peanuts, so ground up peanuts. Thank you so much. And we're just gonna try these at our hotel when we get a little snacky. Oh, but it is actually crazy the amount of people that the church pulls in here in the Philippines. So Philippines is extremely, extremely Catholic, and that's something to be mindful of. Thank you. When you're visiting, it's actually quite impressive to see how also the church is held outside in almost like an arena with the priest in the center. Priest in the center. 괜찮아?
괜찮아.
괜찮아. Okay, at the end of the street, they're making fresh melon juice, and he's scraping the flesh from the melon like right in front of us, and it was irresistible on such a hot summer day, so we're gonna grab one. It looks so good. Icy and honeydew and Thank you so much. Thank you. So we got our fresh melon juice. It's fresh melons with condensed milk, and there's even a little bit of condensed milk on the bottom. Oh my god. I think you should get another one because I'm gonna have this one for myself, Kevin. Yeah, it's actually the best thing. It's like there's a little bit of bitterness at the end too. I love melon juice. Good call. And you can taste the pulp too, and it's just so refreshing. Oh my god. Oh my god. It was so good that we got another one, and even in a bigger size. Oh my god. It's so smart because all the pulp goes to the bottom and it's not as sweet, so the condensed milk kind of mixes with it. It's so good. Couldn't make it to the hotel, so we're eating some of the snackies along the way in front of church. Okay, so this is masarel, and this is one of the classic Cebuan desserts, and it's made with crushed peanuts. Original since 1912. I don't know if this is intentional, but it kind of looks like matzo, like the Jewish crackers. Honestly, it kind of tastes like fondant, but better and nuttier. It has a crumbly texture, but not in a bad way. But it's just, you know, powdery, sweetened peanut. I do wish there was a slight bit of like saltiness. I feel like all the desserts that we've gotten in Philippines have been really good with salty and savory, but this one's just sweet and nutty, which sometimes is nice, I guess. I'm gonna try the shamrock otap. So it says in the back that it's best enjoyed with a fresh cup of coffee in the morning or afternoon as a reminder to slow down and delight in the sweetness of life. And just like that, in perfect timing, the bells ring from church. I like the packaging a lot. So as the packaging said, it's a puff pastry biscuit and the layers go insane. So on the top there is sugar coated, and then you can see all the layers and the swirls by looking at the back side. Look at it. Almost like a scallion pancake. Okay, let's give this a try. Wow. This dipped in coffee would be so good. It's really flaky and light. It's like a baklava, but without the syrup. It's really nice and flaky, sweet, and I love the crunchiness of both the sugar on top and the thin pastry on the bottom. It just like shatters in your mouth. That's it. Yes.
Do you have a Red Horse?
No.
Drinks only, Mountain Dew, Pepsi, Mirinda.
Why do they not sell beer in many places in Philippines? No permit.
Thank you.
Thank you. So now the mystery has been solved as to why beer is not sold in many restaurants in Philippines. Permits. But yeah, we're gonna try Pochero, which is one of the dishes that we haven't tried here in Cebu. It's very similar to the dish that we tried in Manila. It's a beef bone marrow soup, and it has a bunch of vegetables. And this one is usually flavored with tomato, but I think here they do it clear. So let's see what they have. And to be completely honest, we didn't have like the best pancit guisado experience in Manila, so we're gonna give it another try because pancit is one of my favorite dishes, and this place looks really good. So this is the Pochero, and it's a beef bone broth, and you can see a gigantic bone marrow in the middle, and it is big. Big. Look at that. I'm gonna scoop out some of the bone marrow. Wow. Very similar to the bulalo that we had in Manila. I'm not sure what the difference is, but I think the difference is in the vegetables. The vegetables are looking really hearty, really fresh. There's more cabbage in this one, and a whole ass spring onion. There's a strong smell of black pepper inside, and the amount of meat is crazy. It's like a meat mountain. And there's some sweet corn on the side. This honestly smells really good. And it smells like really good pho, actually. Okay, let's try. Ooh, actually really good. I was not gonna lie, the vibes in this restaurant were so off. I was really worried, but the broth is very good. Honestly reminds me of Vietnamese pho. It did take a while for the food to come out, but I think it's because they had to cook the vegetables fresh. It actually tastes really good. Okay, now I'm gonna try the proper pancit guisado with bihon. The pancit that we got in Manila wasn't my favorite, and this one looks promising. I like pancit with thin noodles, and they can't be clumped together. If they start clumping, it means that it's overcooked, and that's not how it should be. Ooh, the wok smell on this is really great. I have a good feeling about this. Very delicious. Really, this is the epitome of never judge a book by its cover, because sometimes it's the sketchiest looking restaurants that has the best food, and sometimes not. All the veggies are super crunchy, There's a really nice wok hei to it, and wok hei just means smokiness coming from the char. There's a good amount of chorizo, a little bit of some carrots, cabbage, simple, clean, greatly executed. It is Sunday, so I think all the restaurants are kind of on like easy mode because the big crowds are now gone from the weekend, so we're definitely one of the last guests. There's another table over there, but this place is good. Okay, and there's a calamansi with some bird's eye pepper because we're in the Philippines, and this is gonna be kind of our dipping sauce. So I'm gonna squeeze the calamansi, have the bird's eye chili, pour a little bit of vinegar, and a bit of soy sauce. And this is gonna be our dipping sauce for the beef. I have to say, this has been the biggest comeback story of all the restaurants I've been to.
Comeback kid.
Yeah, it's actually good. I was like very close to just walking out. And this is gonna be my second to last dinner here in the Philippines. We'll go to one more place next because I still haven't gotten a red horse. I want my goddamn red horse. What a pleasant surprise. Great broth, great cook on the vegetables, a wok hei, pansit bihon, guisado. Pretty good. We're on the hunt for a red horse, and I think we finally found one. And it says beer, B-E-E-R, over there. Hopefully they have one. Let's go check it out. It was a false alarm. Okay, now we're following the trail of karaoke. Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Can we get a red horse to start with? Perfect. It's a big boy. Finally, at the end of our trip, we find red horse. Cheers, Doobies. Wow, that's strong. So it's like the parent brand to San Miguel, and it's a bit stronger. I think it's at like 6% or something. I need to double check. This is the actual amounts, but it is strong. It gets you crunk. And it also says extra strong on the bottom. 6.9? Okay. Unofficial information from Kevin says 6.9, but we need to double check. Definitely a tiny bit bitter, but it's nice. And it's also a very Filipino thing to add ice to your red horse because it's strong to dilute it out, which is very smart because in this climate, everything's bound to get warm. Ice and beer, shaken, not stirred. Well, Doobies, I think this is the end of our journey. I've had such a fun experience being in the Philippines for the last 2 weeks. And even though I didn't show it on content, we've hopped around a couple islands, seeing the beautiful nature and the best food that Philippines has to offer. Manila, Cebu, also Palawan, which we went to. Amazing places. And I think that Philippines hasn't gotten its time of shine just yet, especially for a lot of international travelers. But I hope this video can be an inspiration for you to travel to either Manila or Cebu next time you're considering to go somewhere a little more warm and filled with kind people and great food. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm gonna finish my red horse and go back to the hotel, and I have an early flight to catch tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and thank you especially to all the Filipino Doobies and all the people that's helped research all the places that we went to. So, thank you.